Welcome to another Savage Universe Thursday, you Savage Worlds maniacs. Today we've got some special, exciting updates. One of our licensees has been nominated for an ENNIE, which is a rare and special honor. And so we're going to talk about what's got nominated. You can go pick it up today, and then you can vote as soon as tomorrow so that they will win an ENNIE, because that'd be awesome if we bring one home. But getting nominated is right, the real honor. But hey, can you imagine a ladies licensee getting an ENNIE? That'd be awesome. So, folks, welcome Tony and David. Tell us you're in the best position. What is Battlelords for folks who haven't gotten into it yet? Because it's a really awesome kind of whole big deal. Lots of gorgeous publications from you folks on that already. And then what is Uncle Ernie's A.R.M. Summer Catalog, which is bringing home the awards noms this award season.
Fingers crossed.
Right.
Battlelords is a military science fiction setting for Savage Worlds, where you play expendable corporate mercenaries in a galaxy at war.
Ooh, that was a solid elevator pitch. Practiced, maybe even written down. I can tell. Perfect.
And another key point just I want to call out is just when it comes to the rule set, it's 95% Savage. There's only a few things that we had to tweak to really get that Battlelords feel. So if you're worried about how well it integrates very nicely with the rest of Savage Universe.
So futuristic, sci-fi, lasers, cool stuff, sloppy robots, monsters, all the good stuff. Where does Uncle Ernie's A.R.M. Summer Catalog fit within your publications for Battlelords?
Yeah. So Uncle Ernie is a nihilistic mad genius in the Battlelords universe that builds bioengineered and cybernetically augmented killing machines for fun and profit. Mostly fun. That's right. And the A.R.M. Summer Catalog is his literal catalog of monsters that if you're an unscrupulous individual, you can order and use, or if you're a Savage Worlds game master, you can throw at your players.
Fantastic. So it's already a copper bestseller, which is amazing. Let's get those numbers up here, folks, because totally worth it. It is $20 on DriveThruRPG. I will throw up the link momentarily in the chat. I think I did. There we go. Boom, there it is. I misspelled nominated. Nominated. Whatever it is. It is awesome.
Better.
It's even better. It's like nominated and masticated all the time. So chew on this, folks. It's nice and beefy. 163 megabytes. That's some good stuff. It was the page count. 147 pages. So it's a whole book, guys. That's not even just a catalog. Like 147. That's getting into like full-on publication territory. Good stuff. Can we get the? Oh, I guess you aren't going to get sound. Oh, I should totally rip the video so you guys can play sound. But I don't know how even where to start on telling people like getting an Emmy nomination is pretty rare in this business because historically most of the Ennies have been like, it's kind of a small judge pool and it changes every year. And there are just certain trends that are going on that if you're not kind of at the top of whatever industry popularity contest is going on, that like hard to get noticed. And and you're up against all the big people in the industry. You're up against D&D, you're up against Pathfinder, Paizo, Pinnacle itself. And so for being a licensee for Savage Worlds and getting noticed, that's a monumental achievement. So let's get out the campaign page for a second. Let's just show some art from inside, because this publication is gorgeous. Tell us what's on the cover here. What do we see, Mike?
That's by one of our artists, Stuart Ellis. That is the Sucks to Be You. That's the name of the creature, because if you encounter it, that's what happens. That's our kaiju-sized monster. And the whole book is set up like a futuristic catalog. Like if they had a Sears catalog in the future where you could skip through and buy monsters, that's how the book is laid out. And we think the artwork is just phenomenal. But yeah.
That is fitting. So that there are over 35 beasts in this offering, and let's get to some of those pages so folks can see them. The oh god, I mean, Pinnacle loves a good wanted poster. We are known to include those in our offerings, and I mean, this is fantastic layout, right? One, the character or call it monster art is really first rate, but the trade dress, so to speak, is also really engaging and nicely done. So tell us about the Jovian worm and the radiant toad.
Dave, I'll let you handle those. Those are your favorites, especially the toad.
Yeah. We're always looking for fun twists on things. So one of the fun things about the way we take things, we really start from a science perspective, and then we dial in a little bit of fiction to make things really more fun. So what if we could have something crazy like a toad that you could deal with? What would that be like? So we have a lot of things where we go back to things that are actually going on in real life. And then we also thought about from a wonder perspective, like maybe Ernie needs some of these things out there that are roaming around in the wilderness space, wherever he finds you. So wherever you find these things that have useful abilities or useful starting points as stock for creating new monstrosities, hey, you give me one of these, I'll give you some discount on merchandise, or I can give you a whole bunch of money. What do you want? So just trying to have fun leaning into Ernie's methods for madness.
Go ahead.
I believe the radiant toad, there's a species in Battlelords called Orions, and they're basically party animals. And I believe the radiant toad is one of the animals that the Orions bring to their literal parties because it has psychedelic effects, assuming it doesn't do you in. There's a lot of dark humor throughout the Battlelords universe. And you can see all these creatures have ratings on them. So you don't have to worry when you're picking your monster out if you're going to total party kill your group. And if you're looking for a monster for the new sci-fi companion, or you've got some really tough characters from the supers companion, I mean, we've got something for everybody.
So that brings up a very kind of interesting question, is that in general, Savage Worlds shies a little bit away from like CR ratings that you might find in like something like D&D. How did you guys find mechanically on the game design side, kind of giving those ratings and determining just how good they were? Is that a playtest thing? Is it a stats thing? Like how do you kind of arrive at those?
Dave's itching. I can see him. Go ahead, Dave.
Okay, so I'm the math guy. So we start with, let's look at the stats of everything that's going on and look at the relative. So we've got benchmarks for all the different types of armor and weapons. So we know roughly how much damage armor can take, how much damage weapons can do. And we use the same kind of a process in the monster, trying to understand what would it take for this to get through, because we're assuming in the Battlelords universe that people are wearing armor, because if you're armored up, you're going to live longer, right? Like in D&D, you don't walk around as a peasant with just basic clothes on and expect to go too far through a dungeon. If you want to take on Vecna, you really want fully armored, all the magic, all the things. Well, same thing in the Battlelords universe. And so we want to know, where is it at? Is it the, using D&D as the example, is it the leather armor level, or is this the plate mail level, or is this you got to have magic to the nines level, right? And so we've got those levels, and we run a bunch of math, and then we start checking out all the different special abilities. Like, okay, well, how hard is it for this thing to hit with this ability, and how hard is it for somebody to make the save to get out of that effect and shake it off? So a lot of math goes in there, and then we start playing with them a little bit, where we just do some quick combats where we're like, this feels like this might be more lethal. How would this play? And so we did that on a couple of creatures. We're like, yeah, this one's not going to work. We need to dial it down, because it'll just take over. Like the entire planet will be taken over within about a week.
So a lot of math is the short version.
No, a lot of math and a little bit of play testing just to prove it out. Like, yeah. Sometimes it takes somebody being an evil genius when he's going, well, if I just did this, this, and this, and then everyone else goes, ooh.
Right, and that right there is why AAA video games get patched all the time after the first couple weeks of release, is because as a designer, you're like, you understand what your goal you're getting at, and you're, oh, if I only had a +1 here or whatever, that won't be abused and wrecked and game ending. Well, wait a minute, you've got players who do not have that same goodwill towards your mechanics. We're like, oh wait, I can put that +1 if I combine it with these 5 things. I've got pun that can destroy Earth, and yes, that's that's part of the fun, right? That is part of the fun of kind of designing well and then having games that are fun. But also why we have game masters, so they could just say no. That's the easiest barrier. The easiest, the first barrier against that is just gamers to be like no. But
we actually have a rule like that in the game. That creature from, if you go back one slide to the sucks to be you, on that creature in the description, we actually have a rule that we had put in. And I'm pulling up the thing off to the side here just to make my life a little easier on this one. And I believe, keep me honest here, it's the stomp ability we specify. If you get stomped on, that's it.
You're done.
You're done.
You're done.
You're done.
Right? No dice roll needed. No saves allowed.
Yep. Body slam. Here it is. I found it. Body slam. If it sucks to be you, falls on you.
If it falls on you.
Yeah. You're dead. Even if you're in a tank with a flux shield, it can, however, be evaded. So you can try to dodge it. But if it actually gets you, spit, paste.
Right. And having a force of nature like that is a fun part of game design. I mean, it changes how it really does put the impetus on players to be like, you got to figure out how to do this and not have this happen to you, because there's no coming back. It is super lethal and super fun.
You don't see a person walk up to fight Godzilla, pull out a rifle and go bap, 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 bap. No, you see entire armies laid waste to. You see jets coming in, getting knocked out of the sky. You see all kinds of big, powerful weapons just doing very little damage and getting destroyed. This is that creature.
Love it. So the let's get into it. I know that's some more of these slides. So the murder rabbit and the morphic killer. I mean, one is just nice and fuzzy, and don't you just want to pick it up and pet it and call it George? And then the other is the murder rabbit.
A lot of these creatures, those two, the murder rabbit sort of. A lot of these creatures are homages to classic movie monsters, particularly from the 70s and 80s and 90s. And the murder rabbit is sort of the epitome of that trope where, oh, it looks cute and cuddly. I want to touch it. I want to be its friend. And then suddenly it doesn't look cute and cuddly anymore. And that's your cue to run. That's the murder rabbit is that classic trope. The one there on the bottom is the cute and cuddly version. And then it gets mean and angry. And they're lots of fun.
The quote guy from Galaxy Quest. Any second now, it's going to turn on them. It's going to turn mean and rip them apart. Don't you guys ever watch a show?
Oh, I love it. I mean, Galaxy Quest is the best Star Trek movie ever made. I'm just gonna put that out there, like it is. So tell me about the morphic killer. What is that an homage there? What's the morphic killer to avoid that at all costs?
It's one of the monsters that we brought over from Battlelords. The Battlelords game, the setting has been around for about 35 years. And it's essentially a pool of liquid heavy metals that's radioactive and can shapeshift. And the more you shoot it, the bigger and meaner it gets, which is one of those classic movie monster tropes. Suddenly that pool of mercury that you step in, thinking it's just a little bit of toxic waste in that nuclear power plant you're exploring, comes up and envelops you and crushes you flat. So it's one of the tougher monsters that we've got in Uncle Ernie's.
Yeah, this is actually one of the ones where the game design got very hard because of the way its powers interacted with each other. It could very quickly become way more powerful than we intended. So we had to dial it back just a little bit.
Yeah, that was one of the perfect examples on why we play tested it, because once we did play test it, we realized it was literally unkillable. So we had to dial it back a little.
Yeah. That was one of those where it was discussions like the numbers are like, I'm like, I look at these numbers, I see them dangerous. Tony's like, nah, it'll be fine. I'm like, let's play test this one. Oh, yeah.
No, but it's fantastic though. But I mean, that's the thing. When you have a larger than life setting like Battlelords, you need to push the boundaries on what monsters are, and like not everything can be killed. Sometimes you have to run away, right? That is the player saving option, is to not play the game, not to almost guaranteed loss. So look at that little tardigrade, the energy leech, and the blanket bat. Before we talk about these, like talk about your art design process, like how do you guys scope out artists? How have you found the art? What would you call the curation? It's an interesting part of the industry that some folks, when they're on the smaller scale, really only do stock art, or they never really contract custom stuff out. Other folks don't really have the size or the scale to do art direction. This is gorgeously art directed. So have you guys found that aspect of publishing?
I get asked that question a lot, and the short version is I scour the internet for hours at a time looking for artists that can do the kind of things that we like, and I contact them all, and a quarter of them aren't available, a quarter of them are out of our price range, a quarter of them are busy, but that last quarter of those artists that we contact are available and in our sort of budgetary range. And there are so many amazing artists that are essentially unknown. And we found one that did a lot of work for this book for Uncle Ernie's. And the layout, I have to mention the layout. You're talking about the layout earlier. It's designed to look like a futuristic catalog. That layout is by the guy who runs Table Cat Games, which is another Savage Worlds Ace licensee. So I got to give a shout out to Paul for helping us with the layout. So he did a fantastic job.
Yeah, that is fantastic. And we love seeing the cross collaboration. Like, there's the Discord that you folks should join. There's an email list for licensees. Just your skill sharing, because I think at the end of the day, we are all very passionate about the hobby and want to see these amazing IPs get more attention than they do. And so love seeing the assembling the correct supers team to get these published. So tell me about the actual monsters we see here. Tell me about the energy leech and the blanket bat.
Dave, I'll let you cover the energy leech. I'll do the blanket bat.
Okay. So part of what we wanted to do is really have a wide range of creatures. So we wanted to be able to showcase things that are closer to an annoyance, even for a beginning character. And then we wanted to have, obviously, at the top end, the kaiju. We have a lot of things that are kind of in the middle. So lots of things that can be like minions, or in the middle, things that can be either a minion for higher level play, or can be a boss monster for low level play. And this one's really at that low end. We're looking for actually it's a little higher than I was remembering now that I'm looking at the math here. But we wanted something that can really deal. So in the far future, you have all kinds of things like spaceships that run off immense amounts of power. We wanted something that you could use that would just decimate a city or decimate a starship and give the characters something to fight, that you now have to think about the fact that as you get more advanced, you're like, I want lasers. I want these things that use energy. Oh, wait. I need to do something different. That's not working. So just to force that mental agility on the part of the players to think about things a little differently, get out some toys they don't always get out. Things that go boom might not be the best of things, but those are options. We also have weapon systems that are basically think vaguely like a squirt gun, where it squirts out this liquid. Maybe it'll freeze somebody, or maybe it'll web them into place, or maybe it'll set them on fire. So getting out some of these other toys that don't get used necessarily as much at higher levels of play, but are really important for dealing with these oddball things that Uncle Ernie comes up with.
That is fantastic. Again, and who is Uncle Ernie in the setting? I don't know if you guys mentioned it. We started who's the character? What's the lore behind Uncle Ernie?
He was a genius scientist who was working for the Alliance government in their weapons development program, and no one quite knows what went on. But he felt that he'd been slighted by the Alliance. And they threw him in jail for a little while. And when he got out, he made it his life's mission to make life miserable for everybody else in the universe. He's purely a nihilist, and he is a little loony, but he is a genius. And like I said, he'll sell these if you want to buy them. And sometimes he just dumps a bunch on the planet to see what happens.
And then he'll take notes. I can increase the lethality of this by at least 87%. I'm sure of it. And his catchphrase is, "Who loves you, baby?"
Who loves you, baby? That's right.
I mean, it sounds a little bit like Torg from Borderlands, or just like, just the crazy arm you up, give you all the things you need to create chaos and havoc, and but a little smarter than Torg, a little less the testosterone. But also, tell me about the blanket bat before we show the next crop of.
Sure. If you've got some astute viewers, the blanket bat is one of those creatures that we designed that is an homage to a 1980s monster from a 1980s monster movie. I'll give them a hint. It's not a sci-fi movie. But the blanket bat is essentially, they live in gas giants in the atmosphere, low gravity, so they can fly despite being very strong and very dense. And essentially they envelop you, and then all those little tentacles come out of its chest cavity and digest you and blast through your armor, and bad things happen. And then to make them more lethal, Ernie cybernetically augmented them with A.R.M devices and flight systems so that they can fly and survive in any atmosphere. So they're much more combat effective.
Oh, that's excellent. Okay, so tell us about what we see on these two pages. I love this. This is another really kind of unique kind of. It's like the police lineup, but when it's not just like within 6 feet, you have to start showing some massive scale. So this is a nice alternative for that. So,
yep, that's our size chart. It's in the front of the book. I think there's 4 pages of size charts. The one on the left is for the really, really big monsters. Your Battlelord is down there, wait in the corner, and that's a 2-meter tall Battlelord, which would be your wild card. Yes, and those are the larger monsters. The Aurora Giant, which is an homage to a 1960s movie monster. That's a deep cut.
Was it even in the 60s? I thought it was late 50s when that.
Maybe you're right. Maybe it might have been 50s. And then we've got our trap jaw, which bury themselves in the sand and wait till you step on them, and they can get, as you see, they're incredibly large.
The art for those are just so creepy when you see like the chitinous mouth and like.
Yeah,
I even wonder like if the artist maybe even 3D rendered that to get the detail. And like, well, actually, I was able to pull your video, so that features in the video. But oh my god, it's like when you can see like the moisture on the membranes on the art, you're like, oh man, like
That one's by Stewart, and he does do everything as a 3D render because his day job is working in the video game industry, and he's just slumming it with us.
Yep. And the noxious earth sign, keep me honest, isn't the noxious earth sign his as well?
I don't remember on that one.
And the synth gotta be because of the
synthesis,
the slimy effect, because going back to the Aurora Giant real quick, tag back to that. 1956 is the movie's date of play originally, if you want to go for the homage on that one. What famous movie in 1956 would feature this kind of an effect?
That is a sci-fi.
It is a sci-fi movie.
Lots of movie homage monsters, lots of original monsters, lots of monsters that we've pulled from the 35 years of Battlelords catalogs. And they're like I said, there's something for everybody.
Oh my god, 56 was a great year.
Yes, it was.
You've got Invasion of the Body Snatchers,
yep.
Earth versus the Flying Saucers, Forbidden Planet, Fire Maidens from Outer Space, 20 Million Miles to Earth. I mean, there's a list that conquered the world. Oh my god, that could totally be. I'm trying to remember if there's totally an ugly, like very mouthy. Maybe that's.
It was in that list you mentioned.
I know
you mentioned that movie.
Totally one of the bigger ones that year. But if you look at It Conquered the World, there's also a really awesome, like, toothy alien gigantic thing that I think eventually gets shot in the face with like either a flamethrower or like a what do you call the little shoulder-mounted World War
bazooka?
What do you call those? The bazookas, yes. I think that might have been the end of the. Anyways, that's a great year for inspiration. So, we'll have to chat. Chet needs to go find which movie actually has got the Aurora Giant in it because, oh my god, so good, so good. I just wish like the streaming services had more old movies on them. Like they used to be like Turner Classic and AMC, whatever, had some of like the older catalogs, and then since the split and like whatever, it's harder and harder to find some of the classics anymore. So But anyways, I love it. I love it. The So yeah, wow. So if that is okay, yes. So on the left side, very tiny Battlelord. Right side, Battlelord, a little more human size in the bottom left. So it's like, oh my god, the those bats are really really huge. No, they're just big. They're not really huge. Um, Most excellent. Okay, so let's see. One more. Anything? Oh, here we go. So folks, starting tomorrow, you got to go to let's pull out the name of the website.
Very late tomorrow. I don't think it starts until 11:59 p.m.
Okay, so this
essentially,
weekend.
yes, essentially Saturday is when voting opens.
Boom. Oh, no, I'm putting it in the wrong place. Here we go. Vote. So I'm pretty sure that the Ennies, it's a kind of an open voting thing where it's like you have to be a unique person, but I don't think it's anything other than like you go on their website, do a big list, you select down your choices for each of the things. So yes, what categories? Is there a special category you guys got nominated in that they can look for the entry?
Yep, we're in the best monster / adversary category. And we do have some huge competition in the D&D 5e arena. So we decided that, we needed to let everybody in the Savage universe know, because we gotta represent for the Savage peeps. So if we need to get a Savage product, the win in at least one category. And I think we are the only Savage Worlds product on the list.
Yeah, I think so this year. Again, the initial judging is by a panel of judges, so it can be very capricious on what trends happen year to year. So we would love to see you folks bring one home. And again, already nominated. We're going to shout that out to the world all the time now. That's one of those things. Emmy nominated, Uncle Ernie's. But the best years are hard, right? Because they're very utilitarian for game masters. They're an awesome tool to add uniqueness and spice to your games. But it's hard selling like the narrative of it, right? Because it's like the folks like the idea of like, oh, the story, and I want like a kind of one story. It's like adventures kind of hit that on the head. Where I think you guys are very clever in kind of branding it not just as kind of a boring bestiary, but as the catalog, right? Because that keeps the narrative element of where this fits in the story very upfront and center. So people are like, you are still interacting with all of kind of Battlelords by kind of picking this up. And but I mean, I think even more than adventures. I mean, a good bestiary can. I mean, that's hundreds of hours of play right there, right? It's slipping one of these into a campaign or designing adventures around them yourself. And I think you guys have done a really fantastic job of kind of building the Battlelords brand, and but to get recognized for ENNIE is like, especially when it was like, do you want to tell a story about how it was even a surprise for you guys that you even found out?
Yeah, I was on Twitter doing social media stuff, and Pete Petruccia of Imagining Games, who has a stack of ENNIEs, he sent me a message on Twitter, and he said, "Hey, congrats on the ENNIE and an ENNIE nomination." And I was just typing, I was like, "Oh yeah, thanks." Wait, what? So we had no clue. We had to be told. We submit stuff every year, not expecting to get nominated, and this year it happened. Like I said, Battlelords has been around for 35 years. This is our first ENNIE nom, so we are absolutely thrilled.
Yeah, that is awesome. So yes, get the email campaign going, post the socials, be shameless about it, because that is, no one will remember how hard you campaigned, but they will just remember that you brought home the hardware. So are you guys going to Gen Con? Are you guys planning on the big trip being there?
We are. We're exhibitors every year. We're in booth 3044. So if you go to the very back corner until you can't go anymore, then you'll run into us. That's where we're at. Yeah, we're there, and we're running games. We're running Savage Battlelords games. We're running classic Battlelords games. So yeah, if you're at Gen Con, stop by. We'll have Uncle Ernie's there. We do have a Foundry module. Somebody just commented.
Yep, somebody commented on that. I was about to call it out. Yeah.
Right, and that is a huge accomplishment in and of itself. I mean, getting these things produced, it's not inexpensive, guys. And especially for, I would love it if our industry were just twice as big. Like just twice as big. I mean, it'd be so awesome because there's so many things that are doors that open by just being a little bit bigger than our hobby really is right now. And Hollywood deals or just the affordability of how many books to print and whatever. And just twice as big, and there'd be so many more things. Doing VTT, especially as a licensee, that's a really awesome accomplishment. So folks, go out there and pick up the Foundry module because one, it's fun to play, but two, you can open the door to play with folks all over the world. And I really love them just even for like running a real game, but using the Foundry module as your note keeping, dice rolling, whatever. I mean, they're very utilitarian, even outside of virtual play with folks over cameras. So yeah, congratulations on the module. Let's see. Let's go find.
I believe that's on our website, battlelords.com.
Oh, there we go. Well, let's get that up so folks can run over there and buy it right now. And let's see. I'll put the
terms of the version, Tony.
Their current version of
Sweet
Savage Worlds Adventure Edition, the revised version.
Ooh, awesome. So I was able to pull up. Let's see. Let's take off this and see if we can't get the Foundry compatibility. So see, here's the thing. Foundry compatibility is a little tough because Foundry, they keep updating their stuff and breaking all their old modules. So it is an uphill battle. I know you have to publish a module, but you have to keep it running.
Well, if it doesn't run, let us know because the people we had write it for us, we have got a contract with them where they will update it automatically for us to make sure it runs on the newest version. So as far as I know, it runs on the newest version. We haven't heard anything yet that people saying it doesn't.
Smart. So go there, go to the shop at the top, and you can get you can get PDFs, you can get stuff in print. Uncle Ernie's A.R.M. in print, only $50. That's great for that size of a book. Also now we got to have a special certificate on ENNIE Nominated, and awesome. Appreciate it, buddy. Yeah, go there, pick it up. It sounds great. So I found the video. Let's see if we can't get it to show. It might cover our faces. They've done the media asset redo in here, but let's just see. I love this video.
Need monsters for your Battlelords of Savage Worlds game? Uncle Ernie has what you need to test your mettle. The A.R.M. Summer Catalog has more than 35 creatures, bioengineered and cybernetically augmented killing machines, more than 75 special abilities. Whether you've got pointy sticks or mecha, Ernie's got something for you. Ernie's minions can be used in sci-fi, supers, cyberpunk, or horror games. Creatures that stalk the land, the sea, the sky, and space. Lavishly illustrated and filled with Ernie's dark humor. From cute to tall, big to small, Ernie's got it all. With stats for both classic Battlelords and Savage Worlds. Grab them before they grab you. Celebrating more than 33 years.
Most excellent. So congratulations, guys. I really love the production values. I mean, you're really hitting it out of the park on producing quality content that it holds up to anything else anybody in the industry is putting out. So that's no small task. And especially for any, I mean, all of us are small teams, but I mean, there's small teams and there's small teams. And Yeah, I mean, amazing job on the bringing the quality, the taste level, the humor, and that's just great. So this was last year's publication, so it was like a year ago that this kind of came out, and that's just kind of the strangeness of the award cycle is going to wait until the end of the year and then right before Gen Con. So what do you guys have planned now? Any more current releases we should be telling folks to go check out? Anything on the soon to be list that you want to let folks know about?
I'm so glad you asked. So at Gen Con, we had a successful Kickstarter a while back. At Gen Con, we are debuting Charlie Foxtrot for Savage Worlds. So Charlie Foxtrot is our compendium of one-shot sci-fi adventures set in the Battlelords universe. But what we've done is we've included the Savage Battlelords quick start rules and the beginning of Charlie Foxtrot. Savage Charlie Foxtrot. So literally all you need to play the adventures is the Savage Worlds book and Savage Charlie Foxtrot. And you've got all these sci-fi adventures that you can play.
Oh, that is fantastic. So tell people your booth number again and where they can find you.
We're at booth 3044 in Gen Con, which is, if you walk in, it's the far right, all the way in the back. We're close to Entrepreneur's Alley, but we are not in it. And we're running events all throughout Gen Con.
Well, fantastic. Anything else you want to let folks know? Let's see. Here we go. We're done with the questions. No more questions, folks. Any in chat? Final call for questions. Any other goodness? So Gen Con's a big deal, right? So that's always like, until Gen Con is done, it's hard to think of like post Gen Con. Is the new release going to be available in print at your booth?
Yes. It's arriving at Studio 2, our fulfillment house, the week before Gen Con. We're cutting it close, but it'll be available at Gen Con, and it ships to our backers the minute it arrives at Studio 2. So hopefully they will get it at exactly the same time. We also have our new Benny Counter poker chips at Gen Con and our new Battlelords theme poker deck at Gen Con. And as far as Uncle Ernie's, like I said, it's filled with Ernie's sales pitch for each of the creatures. So it's a hilariously dark read. And it's also got field testing where you can get excerpts of people who comments from people who have been attacked by the creatures, which are also pretty funny. And in the back, we have an appendix of every special ability in the book. So if you want to make your own monsters, we've got all of the abilities in there for you.
Oh, that is fantastic. See, smart design too. And then so the compendium at Gen Con, that's from a crowdfunding campaign. Any hints at what your next kind of campaign might be? Or do you have one in the offing? Anything you want to hint folks at yet? Or
we're not sure yet. I don't think we're going to be doing a lot of design work next year. I don't know if we've picked one. We might be doing one for Classic Battlelords, but I'm not sure what we've got in the pipe for Savage Battlelords yet.
Oh, well, fantastic. Again, congratulations. It's been amazing that you guys are, just continuing to add to an already awesome lineup. It is, I mean, guilty here. It's much easier to be a one and done on IP than it is to continually provide new content. And you guys are doing an amazing job there. Excellent job getting Foundry support. But really, the thing of the day, ENNIE nominated for Best Monster Compendium. That's a big deal. That's a really big deal because that is like against all the other big boys in the industry putting out kind of those things. And so we wish you the best on the voting. So folks, this weekend, Saturday, before you make breakfast, head on over to the ENNIE's website, vote for Battlelords. You've seen it. They definitely deserve it. It is gorgeous layout, human-made, delicious art, really great concept. And hey, as they let you know, like very utilizable across multi sci-fi genres. You don't even have to be in the Battlelords campaign to pick that up. You can run it with any Savage Worlds product. A lot of fun there. A lot of homages to excellent. Maybe if you stop by the booth and tell them what exact movie from 1956, they'll shake your hand and tell you you're right. So that's that's just a super awesome product that is It's also part of the RPG hobby that isn't well supported. I mean, there is an abundance of high fantasy, right? That's where a lot of the competition is. But I mean, the finding good sci-fi, it is certainly not overdone. And so I love the fact that you guys are carrying on a legacy IP for 3 decades. That is amazing. That is to be hailed as well. And but yeah, I mean, getting an Emmy nomination, and like that's the thing, guys. Like, we didn't pull any strings behind the scenes. We've got no juju there. This was honest to goodness merit that shone through against. I'm pretty sure we even put the bestiary for Pathfinder up this year. Maybe that's maybe not, but it even beaten out Pinnacle to get on this list. So I mean, definitely did. We put in a bunch of stuff all over the place. So definitely a major accomplishment. Congratulations on that. Anything we can do to help you get the vote out, get the cheerlead, by all means. It's few and far between. And we hope you guys bring home some hardware at Gen Con. But again, find them at Gen Con. Find them at battlelords.com or 23rd Century. Is it .net? .net. And pick up the books, pick up the PDFs, pick up the Foundry modules. And hey, maybe if you buy stuff, they'll even sign it at Gen Con, and you can have a truly unique, award-nominated, signed by author. Definitely will pay for your kids' college fund in 25 years.
I can at least say everybody who participates in a Savage Battlelords game at Gen Con gets a Battlelords dog tag to take home with them.
Bury the lead there. Free dog tags to play games. That is awesome.
And if you die spectacularly, you might get a Battlelords toe tag to take home with you.
That's the best. I still cherish the one I got from Clint. It was a Clint or with John Goff, who had it was one of the Deadlands games. It was just I'm trying to remember if I was in the original or in the oh my god, so and so did this, so we had to do it too. But yeah, the toe tag, if your character died, genius. See, I love that creativity. It's part of the immersion, it's part of the fun, part of the humor. So, thanks, guys, for doing what you do. Again, major congratulations on getting the nomination. Go out there and vote, folks. Saturday, or maybe really late on Friday if you're like a party animal and you're playing Savage Worlds until 1 a.m. or 2 a.m. Then you can go vote for the Ennies. But get out there, vote early. I'd say vote often, but I think that might be cheating. So vote early and then share with your friends that Uncle Ernie's A.R.M. summer catalog amply deserving of bringing home some hardware. And then go to Gen Con, get some hardware yourself from these guys because, oh, look at that. See, look at it. It's real. It's a real physical thing. It's a real boy, guys. That's amazing. So, yeah, 147 pages, worth every penny. Go get it. Do it. Support real artists. Support real creators. Keep legacy IPs alive. All that good stuff. This is a feel-good vote. There is like literally no downside to this vote. So go do it. So, anyways, Tony,
gaming groups have them jump in and vote too.
Right. Blackmail your family and like just show them like, listen, guys, I need to go to Gen Con. I need to meet these folks. I need to get my book signed. But before that, you got to vote because voting starts this Saturday, and I think it goes. Is it a week? Is it longer?
I believe it goes till July 20th.
That's not that long. It's not that long. So do the vote thing. Get it done fast. Don't forget. And do it before you make your car payment and all that good stuff. So anyways, folks, appreciate you guys coming on Savage Universe. Pleasure filling in for JM. Go out there, vote, do the thing. Love to have you back on when you win because that would be amazing. And even if you don't win, we'll have you back on because hey, really great honor and love what you guys are doing. So other than that, folks, get out there this weekend, play some Savage Worlds, some fun upcoming projects. One Kickstarter from these folks is delivering momentarily just before Gen Con, which is amazing. And then Pinnacle's got some fun stuff where Doomguard is just right around the corner, which is a Supers versus Cthulhu and other Ultimate Evil board game. So check out our newsletter at peginc.com for information on that. And then pretty sure the much anticipated, we demoed it at Gen Con last year and we're finally getting it on the docket. Deadlands Dark Ages will be the next RPG project coming up here right after Doom Card. So fun stuff on the horizon. Other than that, I will be at Gen Con, so I can't come say hi and take you guys out to dinner to celebrate. But when you get back, we'll find some way to make it good for you guys. And appreciate everything you do. Other than that, folks, play some Savage Worlds, go vote, and yeah, have fun this weekend. Cheers, folks.